So, hey guys, today we're going to be attempting to build a deck that utilizes Giant Hand. So Giant Hand is just fine in general. It's not that bad of a card, I wouldn't say it's that great of a card, it's alright. Like, why would I ever summon Giant Hand when I can instead summon, like, Dweller? When Dweller exists, you know? Does Dweller even work against you, Bell? Oh god, it doesn't, does it? Alright, never mind, Giant Hand. Maybe you are my new best friend. Alright, when a monster effect is activated on your opponent's field, quick effect, you can detach two materials from this card, then target one effect monster your opponent controls. While this monster is face up on the field, that effect monster's effects are negated. Also, it cannot change its battle position. So, yeah, pretty interesting. And let's see what this says exactly. Well, actually, how does this work with Lotus? It says the effects are negated, but they can still be activated. So if we were using this on Lotus before it activates, will this still negate? That effect monster's effects are negated. It does not say it's negated on field, and it says this card, as in Giant Hand, is face up on the field, so that's all that's required, and then that will just negate the Lotus. Okay. So Giant Hand should be fine, and the inspiration behind this build is essentially going to be somewhat because a certain viewer just really likes hands, I guess. So this list is for you, I guess. So all right, let's see. So all we realistically need to put up Giant Hand onto our end board is to just have some extra level 4 monsters lying around. So we just need to find a deck that is able to do this without too much issue. So notably, Giant Hand actually has some good features that certain other cards don't have. So if we were playing Redoer in like Phantom Knights, Redoer has a pretty solid effect, but Giant Hand has, I would argue, a better typing. So this is Earth Rock, and the reason this typing is better is because you aren't getting super polyed. Yeah, super poly, kind of an issue. Getting Garurid on your like end board, not that fun. And this will kind of help us out with that, so you know that's great. And okay, Giant Hand. If we want to put a rank 4 on our end board, the easiest way to accomplish this is probably to just get Parallel Exceed. Probably, right? And now we just need to link summon with Parallel Exceed in our hand, and that's one way to do it. Another way we could do this is with like maybe Aratama, and to avoid special summoning, so we can do Aratama to add Sakitama, and then this will also be Giant Hand. So we can do either of these ideas, and that should be fine. And now it's just a matter of having like a deck that link summons and getting like Parallel Exceed in the hand. So real quick, we should check if this works. Mining. Add level 4 or lower. Okay, that cannot add Parallel Exceed, so we're not going to bother with that then. Okay, so that's one way. And then potentially there is like the idea of maybe trying some mathmech stuff to help us out with rank 4s, but I think that might be a bit much. So I think we'll just settle for these guys, and we'll keep it simple. So first off, we don't want to just like slap this in a random deck willy-nilly. So for example, here, a deck that can kind of meet these conditions okay, I guess, like in an okay kind of way, would be Kashtira. So we can save our normal summon for the Aratama because we don't need to normal summon in Kashtira. And that would allow us to like do normal summon Aratama, grab Sakitama, normal summon, make the Giant Hand. So that's like an idea, and then we can just full combo with our cash cards. But we have literally more or less nothing but monster interactions in Kashtira already, so making Giant Hand not exactly that insanely great. If we make Redoer, there is still the idea that if we get like even lead at least, we will have Redoer for next turn to potentially maybe make a Zeus. So Redoer is just 100% kind of better in my opinion. But it does have the added bonus over Redoer with the Super Poly. So there's that, I guess. So, alright. If we are trying to get one of these guys out, and we don't want to utilize our normal summon. So that cuts out Memento as well. That cuts out Altergeist, I believe. Except for the Parallel Exceed part, but this locks us out of Multi-Faker, but only on the first turn. So that's a thing worth considering, I guess. So the simplest answer we can do here is start looking in reverse, I guess. So we want probably a deck that interacts well with back row or something with spell trap interaction in some way, shape, or form. And that will help cover for if our opponent just can deal with the giant hand, you know? Or if they ignore our giant hand because they're not really using monster effects. So yeah, we probably don't want to overcommit on monster interactions with the giant hand. So we could try technically Punk, and that wouldn't be bad. But I kind of feel like keeping it more simple today, so we'll go with Therion. So if we do Therion, we should have options. So we'll go 2 Endless Engine, 1 Foom for the time being, and then we'll go 2 or 3 Charge. I think I'll go with 2. And then we'll go 1 Volt Iron. We'll grab 1 of those, 3 of these. Don't need any of those. 3 Liliporia, 1 of Cross. Throw in a Gigantic Champion Sargus for fun. And we may or may not finish the extra deck here. We'll see how I'm feeling today. And, okay. Let's throw in some staples, and then we'll throw in more engine cards. So I don't think playing Horse is really going to be helping us out that much here. So we'll be trying to use probably Danger. And Therian cards have Therian King Regulus for us to potentially deal with back row, and we also have the potential to make a Baron, which we should be able to just make sometimes, which, you know, if we can make it at all, we should be happy that we can make Baron the floor at all. If we get to. Well, if we get the chance to anyway, so. Depending on, I guess, how much deck space, I might change up these ratios a bit for things and stuff. So trade-in, I believe we also want 2 copies. We can go 2 or 3 into trade-in, but I don't think we want to bother putting it at 1. So we'll go with 2. And I'd explain the ratios a bit more, but 3 we might brick on, 2 I don't think we're going to brick on, but we'll still be able to see it. Because we do want to see it, but we don't want to see it too much. But we do want to see it, if that makes sense. So, alright. Next, we do want to make sure we can also make Parallel Exceed. Also worth mentioning is Parallel Exceed is actually, this is a level 8 monster, so we can use this for a trade-in if we want, which is pretty cool, I guess. So, if we were playing Horus with this, though, there's the one benefit that we can put back, like, Parallel Exceed back into our deck if we were playing 2, I guess. That's about it, probably. So, I might change the ratio for this to be 2 later, but okay. So, called by, we'll probably want Imperm, and that'll help a little bit. Grab Omega, Psychic and Punisher, Zeus, and I don't think there's any other super easy ways to make Giant Hand that are super reasonable to do here. But okay, we also might want to be looking for discards now, which is the main thing. That's one reason why we're running Trade-In and also the Therian Charge. Therian Charge is hard once per turn, but not all of our monsters are level 8, you know, so we'll want at least 1 to 2 copies of Charge. 3 might be a bit much, and we don't want to brick on Therian Charge. So next, let's go with Danger Nessie. Danger Nessie is a great level to make Baron with, if we are able to do so. And then we'll do 2 of you. So 2 jackalopes, and then we'll do 1 Tsuchinoko for the time being. And we'll kind of figure it out more as we go, but actually, we could throw in 1 Mothman. 1 Mothman will not hurt. Okay. And if we want to change out the dangers for punks, we technically could do that. That wouldn't be too bad, because we just have an easier time accessing our like Therian cards, because um, the punk cards can allow us to access the Therian cards, but the downside is they will likely require our normal summon unless we open like a lot of punk cards, so that'll be a bit of a struggle. So let's see. From here, we're mostly vibing though, honestly. It's not really that big of a deal, right? So we have Aratamo, which is a Fiend, 800, 1800. That's the stat line. This is a Fairy, 400, 900. This is a Cyburst, 2000, 2000. Okay. So now we just probably want to throw in like an IP or something. And then, well, we can throw in like whatever generics we're feeling aside from this. And I think we're mostly fine for the most part, but we should probably just put in like one, probably like Bell, and we could consider like a Gamma or something like that. That would help a lot with this specific deck build, because we have a really good way to like kind of bait with this deck. So that's pretty solid. So here we can't tell for sure what will happen, but if Danger Nessie actually hits itself, we still have a chance to do it with Jackalope to try to send one of these guys to the graveyard, so that's fine. And then we draw, and yeah, our next 2 draws are not anything that insane. But if we do open the right hand, which we can eventually, oh, that's Sakitama. Nope. So we have Sakitama and Parallel Exceed. That's awkward. Our hand's completely bricked. Okay, I didn't get trade in. Well, we do have trade in now, so we trade in the yugioh. Draw 2. Then we have some risky business. So maybe we should play a different engine from Dangers. But we also do probably want something with a little bit of draw power. So that's a little bit rough to do. So maybe Therion is not the play either. So we can still pivot from here to still involve Therion. But let's see, is there a good way to do this? Well, technically, if we just hard pivot, I guess it's doable. So let's remove all the dangers, and we'll go with the punk idea instead. So we can still run trade-in, but now we probably only need 1 trade-in. So punk. Let's grab some punk cards and see how much we use in terms of like extra deck, or main deck here. So 3 of these, 1 of these, 1 of these guys. We'll want 1 of these guys. We'll probably reduce the amount of Therian Coliseum we're playing to 2 copies, and then we'll grab this, this, and this. And then I would put in like the things we need for the Therian combo, but don't have to kind of. I don't think we kind of have to rush that yet, so we should be fine. In terms of main deck, we're probably good. Except emergency teleport. Can't forget the emergency teleporto. And then we have emergency teleport too. You're not. Wait. Am I missing someone? I feel like we're missing someone. Yeah, we need more copies of Ogre Dance. Okay, so we're at 50 cards, which makes this a little bit rough. But you know, Giant Hand will be summoned when Giant Hand is ready to be summoned, I guess. This would be easier to do in rank 4 spam, but rank 4 spam in general already has, you know, just monster effects and negates for monster effects, so Giant Hand, not necessarily great in that case either. I guess we could try like using archives to summon this, but that's like a little bit crazy, in my opinion. We can draw 2 here. And with the draw 2, we're probably hoping to draw into like a Sakitama or something. Sakitama by itself is not enough. We want probably the Aratama if possible. So if we have like a hand like this, it works because we can normal summon the Aratama here, and some hands Punk can just not use their normal summon, so it's kind of the same idea as with invoked Punk, which works because you know a lot of these guys are different attributes for whatever reason. So that's one idea, I guess. And we can just do like the full Punk combo depending on like what we get exactly. We can make like Diablantis as well to put the Lily Borea into the graveyard and then make like Gigantic Champion Sargus. We have this play as well. And oh, Sargus is actually live now because of when Giant Hand is activating. Oh, that's actually an idea. So maybe we're going about this all wrong. What if we play an actual rank 4 deck then? Well, we found our deck lads, Spriggan. So the idea here is pretty simple as well. So all we're going to need to do is just spam out our Spriggan's monsters, which we'll be able to do with Ho if we're playing actual Spriggans, right? And this does not block us, does it? No. Yeah, special summon that many Spriggan monsters from your hand or graveyard, and we can do that by detaching off of Sargus, and then allow us to go into Giant Hand. Giant Hand can then trigger Sargus. And that is just something we can do, and we can still keep some of our Therion cards if we're doing this combo, so I'll call this a W in my book. So honestly, I would need to research what Spriggans do a bit more to really be able to build a Spriggans list. I do have like some Spriggan cards here and there, but I'm not 100% certain on how to play them. So yeah, uh, this is probably the ideal usage, I guess, for Giant Hand. Just pairing it with Sargus, I think, is pretty good. And then Sargus can cover and grab like Ethereum cards, and then you have really large coverage for like different types of cards and interactions. So yeah, I think that this is a really good way. So yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.